Good evening, all you rockin' awesome people out there. My name is Scott Churchson. I will be joined very shortly by Mr. J.D. Walker, who covers Philadelphia Union. We got a couple of people coming in at halftime that also write for the Philadelphia Union. And this is Stream Punk Soccer. This is the live stream react as I throw my phone off to the side to make sure that basically it doesn't interfere with the connection here and doesn't bother me throughout this entire show. And we are going to be breaking this entire game down start to finish. Now, a little bit about me, in case you're wondering about this. I have been covering the New York City Football Club, one of their hated rivals, for a lot of years since the 2021 season. This is a season that a lot of Union fans remember because that was the season that actually almost half their players got COVID in the Eastern Conference Finals. A young, unknown backup goaltender named Matt Freese, who is now a stalwart for the New York City Football Club, was the goalkeeper. And NYCFC ended up going on to the MLS Cup Finals and winning, partly because of the fact that the Union, half their players got COVID and had to throw the second and third strings out there. In my case, I'm also what's known as the pool reporter. So whenever the officials do something and people are like, what the hell were they doing? I'm the guy that's allowed to go up to them and say, hey, what the hell were you doing? So that's the basics on this. Like I said, we got a couple of people that are going to be coming in a couple of minutes to talk a little bit more about this, to break this down, what they believe is going to be happening with this game, what I believe is going to be happening with this game. My personal opinions on this, I do not think that the Cinderella team, in this case, the Philadelphia Union, are going to have much of a shot. There's a lot of different reasons for that, which I'll be breaking down probably right about now. Screw it. We'll do it right now. The Union, to their credit, have done a really, really, really good job to get this far. Shootout win last week, an upstart run in a lot of ways. But the Columbus Crew right now are the reigning MLS Cup champions. They are a team that is rested because they skipped the original round and went right to the knockout. So this is a rested team that's going to be playing a Philadelphia Union team that is going to be without Jose Martinez, who's just been transferred out, and also Ty Baribo, who has started to make waves and get credibility, including a recent hat trick. But he is on red card accumulation, so he is going to be out of this match. This is going to be an absolute 100% all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, tomato, and bun challenge for the Philadelphia Union. And frankly, I don't think they're going to be able to cover it. I'm interested to get your thoughts on this. Like I said, we got a couple other writers that have been coming in forthwith on this to give their thoughts. They all write for the Philadelphia Union, so frankly, they might think differently. Right up front, I will tell you that I believe this game, I think the Columbus Crew are probably going to put up 3 on this one. I'm calling a 3-1 final in this case. I think the Union will get 1, but this is a Columbus Crew team that is very, very stingy when it comes to giving up shots. In the regular MLS Cup season, the Columbus Crew are the lowest in the league in shots allowed with 10.04 shots. That is the lowest in the league. Patrick Schulte, their goalkeeper, has the highest percentage of saves in the league. So between those two, it is going to be very difficult for that Union offense to make anything happen. The Columbus Crew also, again, in this case, are playing at home, so Lower.com Field is going to be extremely passionate, extremely fired up, and extremely excited. To add to that, to make it more difficult for Philadelphia, the Columbus Crew also are a low pass, high possession team. They have one of the lowest pass percentages in the league. They're one of the few teams out there that actually does not really pass the ball all too much. So as a result, this is going to be a team that will hold on to the ball as much as possible. They're not inclined to give it away. This team right now is going to spend a lot of time getting it over to Diego Rossi, Cucho Hernandez, and let those guys do their job. Cucho has 9 goals, 6 assists on the season. Diego Rossi is 12. You know what? I don't even remember what the hell they are. Hey, JD, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
We got
Cucho, by the way,
starting
13
lineup on the screen for Columbus, so I'm just going to jump right into that. We got Cucho up top with Rossi and Ramirez. Midfield, we have Ariston, Nagabe, Zawadzki, and Farsi. And in the back, we got Shaberko, Camacho, Moreira, and Patrick Schulte in goal.
Yeah. And as a result, like I said, Schulte in this case is, statistically speaking, this season, he has not been challenged that much. He has the highest save percentage in the league, but the entire team has averaged only 10.04 shots per game. This team is also 5th lowest in shots on goal allowed with only 4. So the Union are going to have to make every single shot count, or else they're out of this by the end of tonight.
Yeah, the Union are definitely going to need to. I mean, since the Union are a defensive squad to begin with, let's see as Apple puts the lineup on the screen for the Union. We got the usual diamonds, Andre Blake in net, the back line, Wagner, Elliott, Glesnes, and Harriel. You have Gazdag at the top of the diamond, Flock in the back, Bedoya on the right, McGlynn on the left. Ua and Quinn Sullivan are the starting strikers. So I actually asked Jim at the press conference yesterday if there was, because Ua and Adeniran haven't really played much together. One is usually subbing in for the other. So with Tyberibo out for a absolutely ridiculous red card suspension, how he's going to handle that up top. So the answer apparently is playing Quinn Sullivan out of position. Yes. And we're off.
Yeah, we're underway at this point. Just change the logo there. Just show the logos in the back. But again, like I said, this is a Columbus team that is high possession, low pass, and also in something we hadn't really talked about on Sunday, that is a rested team too. They skipped the entire first round. So as a result, that is a team that actually has a little more energy to work with. It's going to make it a lot tougher for Philadelphia, who's on short rest as well. But the good news for both squads is they came off two impassioned and very high fatiguing shootouts, which both teams got them here. So,
yeah, with the Union are finding a groove, but they're definitely at a point, I think, where you might be starting to see a little bit of fatigue, but because everybody missed so much time earlier in the season, it's almost like they've already got the injuries out of the way early. Is what we're hoping for.
That could be beneficial there too. Yes, and Andre Blake, we talked about him.
Yeah. Yep. And Ramirez goes down.
Cucho is down. Cucho, by the way, he had a great stop, drop, and roll in the MLS Cup Finals last year on a trip. He tripped and literally rolled off the screen. It was pretty hilarious. I turned it into a GIF. GIF went viral. Very proud of that. But irrespective, like I said,
that was one of the better ones.
Sometimes I make these GIFs and I'm really proud of them. Like Strahinja getting hit in the balls the other day with, on a free kick.
Yeah.
And then just dropping to the ground. Sorry,
we have Zivin and Twelman today. Unfortunately, not Kanji and Higginbotham.
Okay, I've got it on.
Who has quickly become my favorite MLS team. To be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of Kanji when he was doing Devils play-by-play, but he's growing into soccer very well. And I'm hearing a lot more Doc Emmerich in him in soccer.
Sometimes you get these guys that are just kind of like built into certain things. I mean, Kanji, he was the play-by-play guy for the Red Bulls for a lot of years, so he does know this league and these teams fairly well. But for a guy like Kanji, I think maybe sometimes you just kind of go into something that just gels with you better.
Yeah.
You look at it sometimes with Major League Baseball, you see a guy that kind of sucks, and then you throw, or hockey, Sean McDonough. He's great with baseball. He is not good with Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
But right now, not a whole lot's happening. About 3 minutes in, Columbus, I think, is going to be playing a slow game and trying to play more, I think, for the second half in a match like this to keep the ball away from Philly, make Philly run those 5 miles early and just burn themselves out quick. I think a lot of goals are going to happen for Columbus second half.
Yeah, Columbus is a possession team. As if chance is developing first for the Union, Gazdag was tripped up going into the box.
So not a lot's going to happen on this one. Or, credit to Philadelphia and Curtin and everything, because tournaments like this are great for an opportunity to turn a season around very quickly. Philly has had its struggles this year, but matches like, even if they lose today, they're going to have an opportunity to say, you know what, we went really far and we should be proud of that.
But 1 win away from CONCACAF berth, 2 wins away from a trophy. It's that simple.
Columbus right now, like I said, is a strong team. There's an absolute chance that team could repeat as an MLS Cup champion. I would not be least bit surprised by that.
They definitely have the firepower to do it as Cucho gets a chance that goes high.
Yeah. But after a goal kick, but it's still early in this case.
Yeah, we're just going into the 5th minute here.
Yeah. That was a great opportunity, but a good cut across too. So, but that's credit to Blake. He did kind of cut in. He did stay close to try and limit the amount of the angle on Cucho's shot there. But was that the cross? Was that Gazdag that crossed there?
I couldn't. I missed it.
Okay. But yeah, that tandem of Diego Rossi.
Yeah, I'm at about 4:30 with Blake about to take the goal kick. I don't know.
I'm at 4:32. Yeah, so actually, yeah. So, okay, I know what that is. I'll look at that later. So yeah, right now I think you and I time-wise are at the same.
Right.
Twitter's kind of paying attention to this right now. I'm looking at the numbers on that. I'm not complaining there, but yeah, JD has been covering the Philadelphia Union for the last year and a half. So any of the footage, any of the footage you guys see on our channel, from the press conferences to like the footage that you saw on the field yesterday, that came from him. The still images are Kyle Krieger. He gets credit for that. Me personally, like I said, I write for the heated rival, the New York City Football Club right now. So you are feel free to hate me in every way possible. That is perfectly allowed. Lord knows I've heard it before.
We do have a few more Union friendlies coming on for the second half. We have Steve Fuentes from Edge of Philly Sports and the Attacking Third, and also Hambo 22, a Twitch streamer who's a big Union fan.
So I will be alone on my little island here. But I predicted, I think we talked about this Sunday, I predicted that Columbus was going to take this 3-1. You predicted Columbus would win 2-2 and a shootout, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Are you still sticking to that?
I'm sticking with that. Missing Ty Baribo is the difference here. Although I will say that I am so far just looking at the crowd at lower.com field, and even though this is a semifinal, surprisingly the crowd there isn't really as strong of a crowd as I expected there.
It's not big. I mean, it might be one of those things that they might be coming in later. They might be tailgating a little bit or coming in from work early. It is, it is, to be honest with you. It's a Wednesday night. Also, I would not be the least bit surprised. You probably have a lot of Union fans at this thing tonight too. I
don't think so. I mean, there's a few, but again, as you said, a midweek game, and in PA, a lot of schools.
Philly to Columbus isn't that bad. Showcasing Wilfred Nancy, current head coach of the Columbus Crew, was one of the front runners for the U.S. men's national team. Didn't happen, but absolutely one of the best coaches in MLS, and I think someone who could really make a lot of waves in Europe. I'll be very excited to see what he does, and frankly, a little disappointed because I really like the dude.
If Columbus repeats as champs, I think that absolutely a team in Europe gives him a call.
Listen, he has done everything that this team could ask for. They traded for him. They got
the attack now, and Glesnes breaks it up.
Yeah. This is going to be one of those things that I think early on you're not going to see a lot of wiggle room either way. I think what's going to happen, if there's a goal that's going to be scored in this first half, I think it's probably going to be coming from a mistake somewhere. A missed pass, an interception, something that's going to happen. That's going to some kind of a turnover that's going to cause this. I don't think it's going to be any kind of a set play. Or even maybe it's not only even a set piece is going to do it. I think it's going to be a mistake that's going to cause a goal to be scored in this first half. Yeah, it might only be one.
I mean, the Union lead the league in goals off of set pieces, so they're always a threat there. But with quality clubs like this, you don't. Usually, the only time you do get goals is from a mistake.
Yeah, But again, this is a team. This is a Columbus team that does not pass the ball much. I believe I got to look it up, but I think they're lowest in the league in passes, or definitely close to lowest in the league in passes. So as a result, they don't really put a lot of attention on that. Let me take a look. They are third lowest in the league with passes this season overall.
Yeah.
So only LA Galaxy and Inter Miami are lower, and those are two offensive threats in their own right. So it's just a matter of dribble pass when you need to, and just
they're like the anti tiki taka.
Oh yeah. So as a result,
possession-based style, but low passes.
Yeah. So, Philadelphia Union basically actually towards the bottom too, went through seventh lowest overall in passes too. So
that's a surprise because it still feels like they make too many. A lot of times they make one pass too many and blow a chance. Yeah. Not seeing that as much. The last 2 weeks, but there's still plenty of chance. There's still even the chances they don't get, have been quality. And if the Union do start converting those, they're unstoppable. And nobody thought that they could do what they did against Cincinnati last week. They'd never won in TQL Stadium. So in recent history, the Union and Columbus have been pretty even.
Yeah. Like I said, in this case, Columbus came off that
Wagner
3-2
with a hard foul on Rossi there. I believe they just whistled a regular foul, no card.
Yeah, there's no card on this one.
Yeah.
Yep, trip, drop. And
yeah, Rossi just kind of ran into him and then tried to flop.
No, you get a free kick out of that, nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Union wearing their road tire blue. Columbus Crew currently wearing their Charlie Brown yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre Blake's, running it with the green. So, but I think, like I said, in this case here, I'm really curious to see what happens. Also, because we're not doing this tonight, but LAFC and Colorado is going to be a good match tonight. But it's going to be past our bedtime. We're not going to do it. But I think LAFC has a great shot of actually moving on to the finals. And a Leagues Cup final that matches last year's MLS Cup final, I think would be stellar.
Yeah. As Columbus sets up for a corner here. Rossi setting up for a service. We're in the 11th minute. So this is the first major threat. And this is a huge chance for Columbus here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But passes in and nope. Knocked away. Yep. Currently 11 minutes
back out, but Columbus maintains possession, not out of the woods yet. And Wagner able to clear it out a little bit, but Columbus gets it right back.
Yeah. No, like I said, this is gonna be a bit of a slog for the first half.
Oh!
And like I said, this is going to be my slog for the first half. I mean, a header by Rossi to put this Columbus up 1-0. Damn, I looked really good on that one, didn't I? Yeah. That is going to hurt Philadelphia right there.
Oh, that
gorgeous header though. Good save by Blake. The rebound came out.
Cucho just fed in a beautiful cross from just outside the top left of the box, and Rossi was in there for a header, and just Blake had no chance. Like, it was just perfectly executed. Yeah. As we're watching the replay on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cucho fields it on a far left, puts it across. Blake gets the initial save.
Yeah.
So
but that rebound off his hand.
Rossi's right there for the rebound.
Yeah.
So,
and perfect timing on the header. But in this case,
McGlynn kind of wasn't really shadowing Rossi as close as he probably should have been there. But again, that's kind of all right. So we once again eat our words. Yes, that was a mistake, but that was just beautiful execution.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to try.
It comes right back down on the restart. Okay, we're doing great here so far. So that's 1-0 Columbus in the 13th.
I did say though that, like I said, there's no come from a mistake in this particular case. I will give myself at least a small little pat on the back, just because of the fact that this is one of those things that the way Andre Blake handled that, had he handled it better, it wouldn't have gone right to Diego Rossi. He had to know Rossi was right there.
He had it, and he was right there. It was.
Yeah,
he got the stop, but McGlynn wasn't close enough to clear it, and Rossi got to it first.
It does. You did say this. It does. It is a pretty quiet crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quiet crowd on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I'd say it looks about half full. On TV, at least from what you can see on TV.
They probably still drew pretty well, but I think because it's a Wednesday night, I think probably just a lot of people are just having it on TV.
Yeah, it's a midweek game, and Leagues Cup is polarizing among some fan bases, to say the least.
Oh boy, is it ever?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people who are saying just dump the inter series matches like this, interesting use tournaments.
Excuse me. And as Philly sets up for a corner kick here, we're going in the 15th minute, and first, I thought Sullivan was taking the corner. I said, that would be something different.
Sullivan is not taking on the corner. He's setting it up.
Kai, the set piece specialist, is setting up in his workshop here.
This is actually how you make a statement. You have to show that being down 1-0 like that doesn't count for anything.
Oh, and
just wide.
Wagner puts in the corner beautifully, and Uwa fields it in the box, but it hits the near post.
But and a pretty rough angle though at that. But
it was it was a very tough angle.
It was a very difficult. You'd have to bounce it on someone to get that in there. But as soon as that corner went out, I felt that corner went too far anyway. It felt like it was pretty deep on that. But irrespective, it's a corner. We're going to basically take this ball out here. I'm sorry, a goal kick would take this out. Nope, another corner. Shit.
Nope, they did. They did call that off of Schulte. So Philly gets another corner from the other side. So let's do it again from the other side.
Well, if at first you don't succeed. There's a couple of Philly players in that corner. I wonder if they're just going to do a regular pass. Nope, never mind. Going to header out for pretty much nothing.
Although Philly does retain possession.
Yeah.
Now feeds it back in.
But,
and I think Schulte comes up. Schulte comes up with
with the easy save on that. Like I said, Schulte in this. Was he past the goal line on that? Was he out of the box when he punted that? I guess not. I guess not. Boy, I thought he was close on that one. But Columbus showcasing why they are the way they are right now. Let me just take a quick look at a couple of stats here.
Yeah. Let's put the what was the timestamp on that Rossi goal? I believe it was 11 minutes, 12.
Oops. Timeline. That goal was 12 minutes in.
Yeah, that was in.
Are you handling it?
No, I was just. Yeah, Rossi. They credited it to Rossi in the 12th.
Yeah. Damn, my eye will not stop itching, man. It's very annoying. So, but yeah, right now possession is all Columbus. Pretty much the entire game for the most part, aside from corners, has been Columbus.
Yeah, Philly conceding an early goal like this is tough, but they have, as of late, they have been able to answer back. So we'll see. And both teams are just kind of frustrating each other's style right now.
It's stymied is the word I would use here.
Yes.
Now, if you're Jim Curtin, you look at the squad, you're down 1-0. What do you say to you guys?
They absolutely are still in this. I mean, they really needed that. I mean, playing from behind against Columbus is brutal. Is very tough. But nothing's impossible for this team with the way they've been playing.
Showing win probability right now of 79.8% for Columbus, 7.7 for Philly, and 12.5 for penalty kicks. Now, if you're Philadelphia, you have to look at this from the perspective, and you got to tell your guys, Columbus was down 14 seconds in against NYCFC, and they still won. So an early goal does not mean a final goal. You play the same system you've been playing. You keep doing what you're doing. The opportunities will show, but you can't let being down 1-0 like this affect your brain. And I really don't think it affects Philadelphia that much that way. There's a lot of veteran guys on there. They've seen this before.
Early in the year, it kind of did, but with how they've pulled it together since Andre Blake has come back, it's not really affecting them.
Yeah, Columbus controlling the ball pretty well right now. That short pass, they're very well known and very prone to actually doing a lot of short passes when they do them.
And we have had a few comments coming in here.
Do we? I don't see any over here. I don't see anything on my side.
Oh,
Are they on friend face?
It says, I don't know, it just shows in the comments on the StreamYard.
Really? I don't see it on my side. I see it on. Nope. Never mind that. That was a clip from Spider-Man the Animated Series where he was in court and for some reason still actually decided not to wear a suit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see anything on this side.
That's strange, but Miguel was saying, was very happy about the Columbus score in the comments.
Yeah,
We're rolling, coming into the 20th minute here. Still 1-0 Columbus. Philly has been able to get get possession more than I thought, but it's, both teams are, aside from that one mistake on the set piece, there really hasn't been much movement either way.
It's going to be boring for a while.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the one goal was given up here a little earlier than I anticipated, but yeah, this is going to be, like I said, one of those stymie matches. But again, if you're Columbus, you're focusing on the fact that Philly is tired. They had to go through 2 rounds of this. They might have a little more fatigue in here. Columbus had a chance to rest up prior to a lot of this. So you have to be able to take advantage of that for the second half. By the 70th minute, I could see Columbus really just 100% turning this on. But you play the slow game right now.
Between the Union early in the year is that now that the Union have an actual bench and they've been able to make late subs to counter that. By playing Sullivan up top, they're going to be bringing in Sam Adeniran for fresh legs off the bench later on. There's a few options they can go with, even with Jose Martinez just departed for Corinthians in Brazil, and but you have Jesus Bueno. I'm waiting to see if Danley Jean-Jacques finally makes his debut for the Union today, which I believe he is available off the bench for this one.
It would be a good chance to get some training in, for the stretch run of NYC or for the rest of the MLS season, because they've only got I'm guessing Philly's got 9 games left.
9 games left, including Columbus again a week from tonight all over again in Subaru Park.
Which is ironic because NYCFC also has Columbus in about 2 weeks, also at Lower Gutcom Field. There's been talk about MLS combining in one grandiose league, so it's not just 2 matches every year against the same Eastern and Western Conference guys.
I personally like the East and West being separate because being separate, the crossover games between conferences don't really do it for me, and more of what you see in other leagues is just a pure double round robin.
Well, a lot of the other leagues also do a one conference league. Liga MX did, obviously, Premier League. A lot of the European leagues do the same thing.
They don't have as many teams as MLS does. Is the big part, but
there's still a fair number of teams though, just the same.
Yeah, but also with 20 teams, that's 38 games. 19 each, a double round robin. I personally, what I would like to see is
pass outside too far and out for throw it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, like when I think that the league is going to expand to 32 teams within the next few years, and at that point, I be interested to see if they'll split it either East and West, or as Diego. I was actually just about.
That's actually a really
Diego
smart
says
point.
If they make it like a league, like a MLS 1 and MLS 2, like pro rel within those, just within those 2 leagues.
You have a point there, yeah, because that would be a lot easier to relegate up and down if you had one. You can't do that with East and West the way it is right now.
Yeah,
but it'll never happen anyway because teams that are struggling, like the Chicago Fire, DC, those teams will not get relegated down below. And conversely, whatever team from USL, like Maine, which has a team coming up next year, I don't see that happening either. I would love to see relegation. Boy, would that put a fire under people's asses.
It will never happen because you can't ask people to put up $500 million for an expansion fee and then get relegated and lose 90% of their investment overnight. It's not going to happen in American sports.
No, it won't.
So, I really would like the Euro snobs to just shut up with that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
get over it.
That is exactly what I just said there. It would get more eyes on the USL teams. I mean, would it light a fire? Yes, but the billionaires that are spending all that money on the MLS teams in this particular case, they're not going to give that up. I think
USL is closer to relegation than MLS. It'll never happen in MLS, but I think call me when USL does it. I think they'll do it first.
USL doing relegation doesn't have the same impact as MLS would,
but there's like 3 levels of USL, so I think it could easily happen.
Valid, but I'm not saying USL will not cannot be promoted up to MLS. That would make it very interesting to see a lot of these teams that don't get a lot of recognition and looking at it from their business perspective.
Mm-hmm. I mean, U.S. Open Cup is what gives them a lot of recognition, but also at the same time, if Clark Hunt, who's worth $2.7 billion, and his dad's name is on the trophy, can't be bothered to put any money into it, really give a crap about the tournament. Tradition doesn't pay the bills. Apple's paying 10 times. These players are making 10 times the winner share from one game in Leagues Cup than they do from U.S. Open Cup. So, yes, it's a money grab for the players, at which point I'm all for it.
It's funny. When I was up at NYCFC last week, we had a conversation about 2021. Before you came on, I was talking about this, how Eastern Conference Final 2021, half the Philadelphia Union squad ended up getting COVID and missing that game, which is really what caused them to lose that match to NYCFC.
Yep.
And the funny thing was that, a lot of the questions was, well, why would they do that? And it's like, if I'm 22 years old and I'm making $500,000 a year, I don't think I'm that responsible either. I could see myself being honestly stupid enough to do something like that at that age.
But also it's kind of a moot point. Yeah, it happens. The league kind of, as I've said in streams in the past, I get really upset when I see. There's a part of me that's a little salty when I see the star on the NYCFC crest and the star on the LAFC crest, because either one of those, if not both, should be right here.
Listen, Union brought it on themselves with that decision to go to Andre Blake's birthday party on that boat. They gave themselves COVID. It's not like it came in from the outside. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's easily said by the one that won.
Dude, if NYCFC did the same dumbass thing, I'd be like, you know what? It's your own stupid fault.
Yeah.
COVID is still a thing here. You don't go out. You saw that with the NFL, where, basically when we had like COVID NFL and we had these games on like Tuesday night and everything, or like Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's like these guys would go out, do something stupid, get COVID, and they couldn't play. That's your own freaking fault, I mean, for God's sake.
Also, how many people are doing that now? Like literally everybody does that now.
Dude.
So
yeah.
As we're setting up for the for a corner, and it goes right through the other side.
Is that going to reach the corner? Nope. It stays in and knocked down back out the midfield again. So for another throw in for Philly. Philly is starting to make a little headway on this, but they have to at least tie this by halftime. They got to at least. You can't go into halftime down one. Because you're expending energy so much faster than Columbus is right now. So you need to figure out a way to basically, at least even this up. Try to basically limit what Diego Rossi and Cucho are doing. Get at the penalty kicks and give yourself your best shot. Coming in tight. Nope, never mind.
Yeah,
he's not. Possible.
It's a lot of open face.
Yeah, but now we got a possible opportunity to get Columbus inside the box. 10 feet, and nope, and shot and wide. Could have been something, but nope.
It was a tough angle on that for it was 27. I didn't see who had that shot there for Columbus.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about the left side of the box and very tough angle.
Difficult angle, but another shot chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Arfton.
Yeah, right now the shots at this point are 5-1 and 2-0 on target for Columbus. So Philadelphia is still yet to have a shot on goal at this point. Probably, I would expect you probably see Malte Amundsen show up for Columbus probably later on, 65, 70th minute in. Get some fresh legs in there. I like Malte. I knew him from NYCFC. He was a nice kid. He never got the playing time. And then he went to Columbus and immediately won a title. So good for him. Nick Cushing does that a lot of times too, where he doesn't play a guy, they go somewhere else and they just thrive. Look at Tyler Magno back down in Brazil. That kid got no playing time here. He goes down there and immediately starts scoring goals.
Yeah. And now him and Jose Martinez are teammates.
Oh, boy. Dude, you know what? Laundry makes strange bedfellows. You could hate the crap out of one another, but suddenly you're playing on the same team. It's like, you know what? Okay, fine. So,
Yeah, we're in the 30th minute, still 1-0 Columbus.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's a little sluggish at this point, but yeah, making good time. I think. I don't right now. I think at the moment, I don't think there's going to be a lot of additional time on this. Maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't see any right now. I'm in it.
Maybe, like I said, maybe 2, but yeah, Twitter's not doing too bad. Columbus playing back right now. You think Kevin's going to need any time today?
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
Only in blowouts. Kevin hasn't made a first team appearance since he's been listed on the 20, but he hasn't made an appearance since that New England game.
Okay. Just to get the news.
And looks like
somebody's
like
down.
he broke an ankle there or something.
Yeah.
But
Gazdag's up though. He's fine.
Up. He's staying in.
Yeah. No, I don't really see them basically knocking themselves out at this point. Too early. Yeah. I mean, you busted your ass to get to this point. You're not gonna basically crawl down, fall down easy on this. Header in and nope. Stymied and back out the midfield again. God, it's like watching a neutral zone trap.
Yeah.
Hey. Schulte getting swamped a little bit. Ooh, that was a dangerous.
Right, here we go.
There.
And Gazdag.
And Gazdag through. Like I said, there was a mistake there. If you saw what happened at that point, I got to fix down below in a sec. If you saw what happened, there was a really tight pass by Schulte that kind of threaded the needle between 2 Columbus players. And then they just couldn't recover from that.
I'm waiting for the replay and the VAR. I've learned not to celebrate goals too much. Yeah, Schulte tried to clear it. Nate Harrow broke it up and went over to Gazdag.
Are they calling it offsides on that or no?
No.
Yeah.
It's the defender kept him on. Yeah, 31. The defender kept Gazdag on. So, but yeah, quick turnover in their own end, and when Schulte tried to clear it, Harriel broke it up and took advantage, and Gazdag was able to wind his way through the box and put it home. Schulte got a piece on it, but it was just too hard and just went went through his hands over his head into the back of the net. So we are tied up in the 33rd.
Not up to 1. The official time on that goal is 32.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Just updated the score just down below after that Gazdag goal right there. So I still stand by my belief that this is going to be 3-1 Columbus. Well, speaking of, they got an opportunity right now, but the ball's hit a little too far, and Andre Blake with the easy grab. If that ball was a little slower, that would have been a great opportunity for Columbus to get that goal right back. So, but yes, Radecki, if you're actually wondering what the score is, I just updated it down below after the Gazdag goal there. Diego Rossi had a goal 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then
it is empty there.
What's that?
Wow, it is empty. You were able to see the upper deck on that shot of Dre taking the goal kick.
You know what? That's giving me a question here. What? Yeah, see, Columbus right now this season in attendance is 18th overall. They average 20,629 a game right now, which is lower middle of the pack.
League's Cup attendance is separate from the league numbers.
True.
So because they'll drag them down.
What happens for one's going to happen to the other. I mean, if Atlanta was in this thing, they're going to be pulling some degree of Atlanta numbers or Charlotte.
Right, or even if the further the Mexican teams go, is the better this tournament does.
Oh yeah, if Columbus was playing a Mexican team like Tigres, this crowd would be a lot more packed.
Absolutely, which is why Colorado shocking America in the quarterfinal the other night.
Yep.
It was easily one of the biggest upsets of this tournament so far.
Which is disappointing because Colorado is a good team. They're fourth in the West, but they have no draw. They average like 14,000 fans a game. Worst in the league right now.
There's a lot of bad faith in ownership out there.
I know, but it still sucks anyway.
It's Oakland A's light situation.
I get that, but it's one of those things that these guys are killing themselves. They deserve better. It's like basically when you were playing for like the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, all of these players deserve better than owners who are cheap scumbags.
So you want them to be like expensive scumbags?
Yeah, if they're spending money and the players are making, I'm all for the players making money.
By the way, as soon as we had the scumbag comment, I saw like all these likes go up on Facebook on that. So the word scumbag seems to be a tag there, as it probably gets us canceled on and shut down because of this. Comment just came in about the live correct score, but I just actually put the score right here. So, going to a WhatsApp link, that's always a safe bet, right?
Yeah. That I'm sure that's totally.
Sure. Philly with a chance right now, pass off to the side, about 25 feet out at this point, trying to break inside. 36 minutes in right now, so we're closing in on the end of the first half. Again, basically right now the score is 1-1. Diego Rossi with a header 12 minutes in on this, followed by a Gazdag goal on a quasi turnover thread the needle pass by goalkeeper Patrick Schulte. I think if basically Philadelphia goes into halftime tied at 1, I think they could live with it. That was a terrible throw-in right there. What the hell was that throw-in? As a reminder, you're throwing to the guys in yellow like yourself. That was literally a direct pass right to the Union.
Yeah,
on a throw-in.
Oh, nice. They got a nice shove on Uwa there. No call.
So, yeah, and the header's gonna take it out. Yep, and out for a corner. Another Philadelphia Union corner.
That's what the Union do. They lead.
Pressure, set piece, try and score.
They lead the league in set pieces.
Yeah. Union will be playing NYCFC, I believe, sometime mid-September, like the 14th or something, I think.
September 18th.
18th. Oh, that's right. It's a midweek game. Is that up in New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium. Okay. Maybe I'll go. See what happens. Wagner with the corner.
Kai Wagner setting up for the corner on the right side of the net here in the 38th minute.
With a fake and then a pass in.
It was out to Sullivan and Boone's did, but right at Schulte.
Yeah, but that thing took a weird curve. That had a weird twist on it.
I think it hit a divot.
It hit something, yeah. But it didn't hit it hard, but it skimmed off something.
Yeah, there's some because on the left side in the Philly net, there's a giant dead spot in front of that net. So clearly they tried to resod that and it didn't take. You just see a giant dead square. Where under Andre Blake there. First, I thought it was an ad that failed to render. On the
you just see like a giant 404 sitting there.
Right.
Well, that was the problem during the penalty kicks against NYCFC. Both teams were having problems with that spot there, and they had to keep putting the grass back down before every single kick. So it was really unpredictable where that ball was going to go. Both teams were at a disadvantage there. Philly knocks it out. Quick throw in. If Columbus can get this set fast enough, and they're not, there we go. 39 minutes in, still tied at 1. Any foul on that? Nope.
With the challenge on Armstead there.
And the band played on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Diego Rossi just took his cleats off and stabbed Glesnes in the neck. And the officiating is going to let it continue.
Nah, that would be that's more for a CONCACAF game or a league.
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure the official logo of CONMEBOL is Chang from the Hangover, But did you die?
Can you believe a Hangover movie's 15 years old at this point?
Don't get me started.
Dude. Yeah, the movie Blade was 26 years ago. How to Feel Old in One Easy Step.
How to Feel Old in 2 Easy Steps. You end up at Subaru Park for 2 children breaking each other's record for who's the youngest player ever.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, well, you, like I said, you were there yesterday, and you had footage of Kevin. And I'm looking at this and thinking to myself, yeah, I was 34 when you were born. I was married and unmarried once by the time you were spit out. Dude, like I said, you get this. When you reach a certain age, you're looking at these people and think how old you are. And it's like, if you're able to legally drink by the time they're born, yeah, you're old.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this. 41st minute in. Columbus, well, the ball just got knocked out. Is that setting up for a goal kick?
I believe it's. Let's see, did they call that a goal? They called that a goal kick.
They're passing it back to Blake. So yeah.
Let's.
Cucho claimed screaming for a handball just inside the box there.
Yeah, he was trying to say that Harriel, that it got a piece of Harriel's arm on the way out, but
it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, and I don't think they're, but they still called it a goal kick, which
this they're calling a goal kick, but like a minute prior. So ball's out. 42 minutes in. Available substitutions are brought to you by Lay's.
They're increasing the sponsorship opportunity. Apple's got to make it. Apple's making back that money big time.
I was watching the Giants.
AT&T Added Time is my favorite new sponsorship.
Yeah,
and Ariel with a good chance down the other end.
That angle
in the middle of boxers and into a pack of Charlie Browns.
And yes, much like William Shakespeare, and much ado about nothing on that. That would have been a great opportunity if that ball was grabbed there. Quick run down the side, but it's still a free kick for Columbus. Yeah, see, Philly is still playing that swamp style that just muddies you and can't get that ball out. They're playing their game, but again, it's muddying the match.
I mean, you have an offensive possession style squad versus a defensive, and there's a second goal.
There's the second goal.
43rd minutes. Rossi.
And I'm gonna go back.
So that's a brace for Rossi before halftime. Oh, gut punch for the Union right here.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what we just finished saying that basically if the Union were tied at 1 going into halftime, they could live with it.
But yeah, Rossi went over to 17 and just bet it right back to Rossi, and Blake was kind of caught out a little. Oh, okay. Elliott tried to clear. See in this last replay, Elliott tried to clear it, and that redirected it enough into the net that Blake, away from Blake and into the net.
And that was Rossi again?
Yes.
Yeah, that like you said is an absolute gut punch, and there's probably not going to be a whole lot of time left. But again, if you're Philadelphia, you have to look at this from the standpoint that you're only down 1. You play your game, you play smart, you continue. But I would like to point out that I predicted 1 goal will be scored in the first half by Columbus, and instead we got 3 goals in total, 2 by 1, and then 1 by the Union. So good job, me. But at this point, Columbus is going to play the slow game to just burn out the half.
Yeah.
And Schulte strangely actually just kicks it right out of bounds. Just past the half, just past midfield.
Yeah, now the crowd that is there is now really getting into it.
Oh yeah. Well, the goal by Gazdag was deflating as heck for them. Throw in and immediately intercept. Nope. Philly keeps it.
Trapped along the sideline, and Elliott goes down, but I don't.
They called a foul on it.
Yeah.
And 2 minutes of additional time has been added by AT&T.
Yeah, it was. Ooh, I got an elbow in the face.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's more like a hand to the throat. Looked like.
Yeah, it was more of a.
You whacked that Adam's apple there, man. It hurts.
Either Adam's apple, piece of his jaw. Either way, not fun. So, shaking it off as the Union set up for a free kick.
But that's going to be that's a free kick in a dangerous spot.
Yeah, it's a dangerous spot for the Union.
And ultimately, nothing happened.
But they still gave Columbus possession. Okay.
I guess they did. Did they? Or was it just
yeah.
a turnover? I don't know. They didn't actually show the play itself, so we have no idea exactly what happened there, and we may never find out. So, oh well. Onward and upward, last minute or so of the first half. Columbus just playing smart, just making sure that they don't get, that nothing ever, that Philly doesn't get a chance to actually get back into this game. Shot up and over for a goal kick.
Yeah. Arstead trying to put in a good cross there, but no one was there, but nobody was in the box for it.
Yep.
And so,
yep.
Blake taking his time for a goal kick here. That should be just about do
Pretty
it
much gonna do, yeah. He's got to hurry though, because this is probably going to be their last shot at the half. Shot up and across midfield. Nice header. Another nice header. But Columbus recovers anyway, and now with a small chance possibly. Nope, never mind. Back to Blake.
Block breaks it up. Back to Blake for another goal kick.
And
we're gonna
header to header to header.
They might have one last chance after all here, guys.
I think they'll give them one last shot at this, but if they go backwards too much, they're going to call it, I think. But I think the officials are going to let this one run and just see what happens. Right call, I think.
Yeah.
Columbus takes over.
Well, puts it in traffic. Somebody goes down, and
that's got to do it. And that does do it. Okay. And here we are at halftime. Columbus is up 2-1, playing the game that they're trying to aim for. So, thoughts on in the game as I've been talking way too much so far.
That second, they really needed to go in at halftime. With the Union needed this tied at halftime. That was a tough one there, but for them to, but still, it's only one goal. 2-1 is the most dangerous lead. The Union absolutely, one more goal. I said 2-2 with penalties, so we're still on track for that.
And I said 3-1, basically Columbus in regulation, so we're all still on
track for that too.
Yes. So both of us right now are still on track in some way, but if Philly scores that second goal, I'm toasted. All right, so you're Jim Curtin. What do you say?
They need to bring some fresh legs on, and definitely bring on some fresh legs around the 60th. Don't lose focus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident if they get it to penalties, but also just who knows with these teams.
Yeah.
Either way, this is halftime. I need to step out for a few minutes.
I'm going to take you off camera. And he is gone. Now that he's gone, I can talk about him behind his back. But no, real talk in this case, just to give a little bit of a quick breakdown at halftime right now. Columbus Crew are up 2-1 at half. 2 goals by Diego Rossi, one beautiful header in the beginning of the match, about 12 minutes in, followed by a second goal by Diego Rossi about 42 minutes in, I think it was. And there was also a goal by Daniel Gazdag on a small little turnover about 32 minutes in that initially for about 10 minutes did tie the match up at 1. Right now at halftime, the shots are 7-3 in favor of Columbus. On goal, shots are 3-2 in favor of Columbus. So right now, goaltending has not been where it needs to be in this particular case. A little curious because Andre Blake and Schulte are actually really, really good goalkeepers. So it's a little surprising that they're putting up the numbers they are. But it could be a little anxiety, could be a little nerves. It could be a little of everything. A little bit of everything all rolled into one. Sorry, I cannot sing Alanis Morissette well. I apologize for that. But we're looking at, like I said, also, I want to point this out. The Philadelphia Union this season are 5th overall in the league in basically in offsides. So they do offside a lot there. Columbus is right dead smack in the middle at 42. But this is a team right now, a Philadelphia team that does play aggressive and does end up getting sluggish in this case. They are also, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th highest in the league in interceptions allowed. Interceptions given up. So they do turn the ball over a lot that way. Columbus on the other side of the equation is only 6th. So they don't turn the ball over that often. This is going to be a big key for the second half because this is going to be a Columbus team that's already up by 1. They are the more rested of the two teams. And as I had mentioned earlier, right before JD came on, this is a Philadelphia Union team right now that is missing Jose Martinez, who's just transferred out down to Brazil, basically, ironically, alongside former rival enemy, now guess frenemy, Tyler Magno, and also Ty Maribo, who has made waves with the fact that he's made some impressions in the league. He did pick up a hat trick in this case, and right now the problem in this case, he's out with a red card accumulation. So, as a result, this is going to be a slightly depleted Union squad. I think you're going to see Columbus maybe make some substitutions in here. I mentioned Malte Amundsen. Malte Amundsen's really strong when it comes to the second half. That substitution, get him some legs, get him some speed there. Right now up here, they're showing the first goal by Diego Rossi. It was a shot on goal that Blake got a hand on, but unfortunately for him, he sent it right to Rossi, who was like 4 feet away, and then voila, that was the end of that. Showing Wilfred Nancy, clearly showing his approval of the goal there, because that's exactly what he was looking for right there. Then they're showing the set piece right now. Cornerback, I think Ura, that had the header that went wide. The corners themselves have been strong for the Philadelphia Union in this match. They've done well in this department. They've had, how many corners have they had so far? They've had 4 corners. That is what you want to have with your Philadelphia Union team. Like JD said, this is a team that actually leads the league in corners. So they're staying to that game well. And it did turn into at least 1 goal, although a little out of left field, a little out of kilter. It got the job done. They're showing the shot basically by Gazdag. Schulte got a piece of it, but not enough. The ball's hit too hard, tying up the game at 1 briefly. And then about 10 minutes later, Diego Rossi with the second goal of the game, coming in right about, about 17 feet, 16 feet out. And then from the right side of the box to the left side of the goal. This obviously puts Diego Rossi at 2 goals for the game. So it'll be very interesting to see if he can pick up a hat trick. I think it's plausible. I did say 3 goals for that team. And now they're showing the shots on goal here 3. That's interesting because that's different from what I actually have in here. All right, I'll run with what they got. So maybe Google had it wrong there. Shots on goal, they got 5-3 and 3-3, which I had 7-3 and 5-3, whatever. Anyway, I'm babbling because I got nobody here, all by myself. So, as I mentioned before, my name is Scott Churchson. I am the pool reporter for the New York City Football Club. I've been covering that team since 2021. I've been there through the highs, I've been there through the lows, and I've been there through the team's just there. This team right now, NYCFC, is 5th in the league, 5th in the East overall. They have the youngest squad, and they're playing a game this weekend against a very weak Chicago Fire team that should amount to a victory at Citi Field. I think this is a team that needs a win like this to basically get back into the run of MLS. There is a little bit of a letdown after the loss. I think they can hold their head high with the match that they had against Columbus. But at the end of the day, that's still a team that needs to get back on the winning side of things. Chicago is a good team for something like that. Chicago, I don't believe, has ever played at Citi Field before. So here's my experience on this. I've covered NYCFC at 4 different stadiums: Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, Red Bull Arena, and Subaru Park. Citi Field, I think, has the best fan experience of all of them. The way that the audio kind of echoes through Citi Field, I think, works out better. Speaking as the snobby elitist, press writer that I am, we sometimes, actually, it's funny, on our side, we look at press boxes and we kind of look at them from the perspective of how is it. We look at dumb little things like how is the food, shit like that. Citi Field puts us in a really weird spot. When it comes to like Red Bull Arena, when it comes to Yankee Stadium, when it comes to Subaru Park, you get dead smack in the middle. Right in the middle of that pitch, bam, there you are. Citi Field, it puts you in the corner. It's really tough to see what's going on. I've talked to some of the broadcasters over there, and they're like, yeah, sometimes I can't even see who has the ball at the far side of the field. Make do with what you can. Yankee Stadium is considered to be the worst amongst the worst pitches in the world. Congratulations on that honor, because of the dirt patch around second base. Not unlike when the the Oakland Raiders used to play with the Oakland A's, and then they would run literally across the dirt path. I always found that funny as I was a kid, but the fans hated it. NYCFC will be getting the new stadium, which the name has not been made yet, 2027, right the year after World Cup. That team needs that because the entire league and the entire world make fun of the fact that the New York City Football Club plays in a baseball field. Something that I think Yankee Stadium itself likes to not talk about. Also, by extension, the fact that Yankee Stadium has the banner which showcases the New York City Football Club's, dominant 2-1 win in the MLS Cup Finals in 2021 with something that can only be described as a bath towel. It's pretty funny. I was there for all of that. It's kind of embarrassing. But for a team like this, I think NYCFC could go pretty far with this. I don't think they're going to go that far. I don't think they're getting into the playoffs. I think they might win a round or two. But the Columbus Crew right now could 100% repeat as champions. They're third place overall. FC Cincinnati was my pick to get to the MLS Cup Finals because that team lost in a painful fashion last year. FC Cincinnati, that was a team, they were up 2-0. They had an own goal, and then just the wheels fell off, and that was the end of it. I don't see Inter Miami doing much. I see Inter Miami being very similar to the New York Jets. You spin through the nose to bring in, a guy who's no world renowned, has so much success, and then gets injured, and then the wheels fall off. Now that Lionel Messi is out and may not even be playing in October, November, he might not even play there. This is a very beatable Inter Miami team. And as Columbus showed, Columbus beat Inter Miami to get to this point. They were down 2-0. They scored 3 and then suddenly moving on. So it had to be demoralizing for Suarez and all the rest of those guys there. But Columbus, yeah, I can see them winning this thing. I can see them going to the finals again. LAFC, I think, who's playing later, I think they've got a great shot of repeating at this point. The LA Galaxy, I think, has got a great shot. That would be a fascinating Western Conference final. LA versus LA. Who would win that? I don't know. Probably LA. But that could be a prime, huge Western Conference final. And I, for one, would love to be able to see it. So, should I have brought you back so fast?
Yeah. Excuse me. I was just messaging Steve, see if he was coming up.
So, yeah, right now we're about ready to get back into the second half here. I really just babbled about pretty much nothing the entire time.
It's halftime.
Dude, basically, yeah. Giving my opinions on various stadiums, what it's like in the press box, what works, what doesn't work, that sort of thing. In other important news, very sad news today, by the way. My heart breaks for this, but Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are filing for divorce.
Again?
Yeah. Well, they never got married the first time. No, Ben Affleck and Jennifer.
Oh, I thought they didn't get married this time. I couldn't remember.
No, they got married this time. And now they're getting divorced after 2 years.
Yeah. Steve says he's making his way on now.
All right. Making my way downtown. But But yeah, it's a very sad day because Ben Affleck's getting divorced from another Jen, which means he's gonna have to find another Jen to marry.
I'm thankful every day that they let the Mets go to Steve Cohen instead of J-Lo and A-Rod and whatever.
Could you imagine that one?
You're seeing, but also part of it was just like, do you guys actually have the money? Well, we have this type of financing, whatever. And then Steve Cohen rolls in, here, giant monopoly bag of money.
By the way, how did that work out? But just asking that, Mets fans.
I mean, what you see with A-Rod trying to buy the Timberwolves and only getting up to a certain percentage because he didn't actually pay enough the money for it.
Well, I think A-Rod's worth what, $400 million or something.
Something like that. But when it comes to team owners, that's nothing.
Yeah, which is funny considering the contracts that he had. You'd think he would have gotten paid more, but it's not what you make; it's what you keep.
Yeah, and we should have Steve and Hambo joining us shortly.
Perfectly fine. I'm keeping an eye out for it. Yeah, it would be good to get some fresh blood in here. Don't want to hear our dumb voices all the time.
Yeah, I think we're about 3 minutes away from the start of the second half.
Thank God, because all they're doing is playing the same 3 commercials on Apple TV right now.
Yeah. Tequila Centenario paid a lot of money for these spots.
Oh, yeah. Nice night in Columbus. Ba-doom.
Okay, and Hambo says he's just having a bite to eat and he'll be on in a bit.
That's fine. We're here. Yeah, it's still a couple of minutes out, but
yeah.
But yeah, if you're Columbus, this is pretty much exactly what you wanted it to be. You play slow. The second half could honestly be more boring than the first half because might just see it. I love to use this phrase, a lot more ball control.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot more trying to slow this game down. Maybe not right away. I think if you're Columbus, you want to get that third goal. You want to be able to just give yourself a little bit of a cushion. But I think if they're up by 2, they're going to slow this game down to a crawl.
Oh yeah, and once they go up that second goal, it's
done. Yeah. Diego Rossi coming back out on the field again. He got both goals so far.
Yeah.
So I think
15 goals in his last 17 matches in all.
Dude, that's insane. Wow. Yeah, that's why I said when you were gone, this team could 100% repeat as champions. I would not be the least bit surprised. I still think it goes through FC Cincinnati, but Columbus I think could beat FC Cincinnati on the road.
Columbus can beat any team in the league on any given night.
I think Inter Miami is very beatable at this point. NYCFC is too young. I think the Union might get tired by the end of the season.
The Union just needs to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think if they're playing hot enough to go from 10th in the table through a gauntlet of the schedule over the last 9 games, and here we have Steve from Edge of Philly Sports joining us just in time for the start of the second half. How are we doing, Steve?
I was doing better until the 42nd minute of
the
Diego Rossi show.
42, yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Life, the universe, and everything, and Andre Blake. So,
yeah, it's good to see him here and seeing the fight. It's frustrating that someone like Martinez would have at least given fits and been that defensive force that prevents similar things like this from happening.
All right. And we got Hambo, and we got Austin Hamill. Hambo 22, is it on Twitch?
26.
Hambo 26.
How's it going, man? Good to talk to you.
I appreciate it. By the way, respect to the shirt as well. I just want to point that out.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Actually, you'll appreciate this. Last Sunday. I went to a place over in Clifton, New Jersey. That was a metal cover band for Castlevania and Zelda games while they simultaneously speed run it.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I
they
love that
speed
kind
ran.
of stuff.
They speed ran all the way through Zelda 1 while doing metal music of all the Zelda games throughout. It was fantastic.
That's so sick. That's so awesome.
As a quick shot goes by, actually, for early chance there for Philadelphia to tie us up. But
Okay, so
That's
we're
a
all
good run
synced
by
up then
Destroyer on
exactly
the
where we're
outside,
at,
yeah.
because I was right there.
yeah, once the timestamp comes back up, I'll see how we match up. But I think we're all pretty darn close. Yeah. By the way, have you noticed when you're at games themselves that Apple TV is always like 40 seconds behind what really is happening?
Yep, that's the exact
40
timing in Super Park. In
Oh
the Super
God,
Park
that's so
Best Buy.
annoying.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because a lot of times with Apple TV, I'll have OBS running in the background. So as soon as a goal is scored, I'll tab over to OBS and hit record, and then just splice up whatever the goal was. But yeah, a lot of this stuff right now, they're probably in the 48th minute at least over there at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got 47:26 on the clock right now.
27. Yeah, you're a
perfect.
second ahead of me.
Yeah.
So it's all right. I can survive this. But gentlemen, do you think Philadelphia can equalize this?
I think they got to get Sam in. They got to get a Dedoran in if soon.
Mhm.
I think you can't go too long with
Then you had Ua with a chance here.
not-
With this with a drop.
Yeah. You can't go too long with it being 2-1 and not making some sort of change or some sort of impact player coming on. I feel like we're going to see Donovan tonight.
Yeah. But Philly's already putting pressure on in the second half very early, which is exactly what they have to do.
Wish they would have came out of the gate doing that instead of waiting to go down one. They came out with that Philadelphia Union defensive mindset in the semifinals. Let's hope that the
Flock just
counterattack
pushed over
wins it for
Cucho.
us.
Flock just pushed over Cucho, and then there was no call, and then Zawadzki just took out this tit for tat right there.
Yeah. Well, the officiating has been. Well, let's put it this way. There's been a lot of opinions on the officiating throughout this.
Yeah.
Oh, and a yellow card.
Yeah,
I think it's been officiated.
First yellow card of the game.
I think when they have been MLS versus MLS teams, the officiating has been much different than an MLS versus the La Liga teams.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
La Liga has been very pointed in basically how they felt about the officiating too, and they haven't really held back much. Tigres was extremely vocal after the loss to NYCFC. I was in that press conference. That dude did not hold back. But yeah, first yellow card in this case on Zawadzki.
I know what's it called? Mazatlan. They couldn't say anything about the officiating the way they flopped. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was, and they basically said right away that their strategy was to just to target Ty because he was their hot player and get in his head, and it worked. With two of the weakest yellow cards I've ever seen.
But it's effective because he's not here tonight.
Yeah,
that's a big loss there too. And you mentioned Martinez, obviously bad timing on that. Although they really treated him like gold that last game. They made him feel really. I saw some of those pictures. They made him feel really special on that. I respect the heck out of that, what they did there.
Yeah, apparently Jose was very vocal to Corinthians that he wanted to try and play, make one last curtain call. And they said like, okay, fine, a cameo in the last few minutes.
Yeah,
he got a proper send off on like
perfect
Jose.
Too. It was it was perfect.
Yeah, hitting it, banging the drum, walking out with Fang. It was a lot. It was like that was a really nice touch. But they could use somebody like that with that kind of grit right here, right now.
Yeah, well, good for him to cash in after his amazing performance for Venezuela and Copa America.
Oh, absolutely.
Shot in, header, and then nope.
No one's there.
Philly's making it interesting in the second half. I think
if Quinn ever gets any of those chances on target, he'll be dangerous as hell. They're just never on target.
Schulte hesitated coming out to try and play that though, so big break for the Union being able to get that corner there.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the Columbus Crew have the lowest amount of shots allowed in the game. They've allowed 10.04 during MLS. They just don't allow shots. They've allowed 4 so far today. So credit to Philly for basically making him work this time.
Kai with corner into the box and immediately
that corner was just all yellow there.
I almost wish that the red card would have just stood for Baribo. He would have been able to play, I think, tonight if it was a red.
I thought he would have been out for that.
No, he would. I think it was. He would have been. I think had an extra suspension or something. I don't know. The whole thing was stupid.
Well, I could see basically if here's the thing, if Columbus, keeps the lead at say the 85th minute, I could see somebody like Schulte and the rest of them taking yellow cards for delay a game. Burn that clock out because yellow cards don't really matter as much, in Leagues Cup versus say MLS. Especially when you only have one game left.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cucho!
And there it is.
And we're
We went off
3-1.
Oh boy.
What a great effort though by Blake at first.
Great stop, but again, it was a struggle where he can't hold the rebound. I mean, that was a tough rebound. I'm not going to lie to that, but that's the second goal allowed that came off his hand.
Second goal tonight that Dre has gotten a save, but
it bounced back out.
Just gotten a rebound right away and put it back in.
Oof. Now, like I said, this game is going to start playing sluggish.
What planet was McGlynn on there?
It's twice now.
More than that, Ariel got caught flat.
That first goal on the rebound.
Yeah.
Great header on that first off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that conversation.
Way to stay with it. Way to stay with it too.
Got his own rebound and put that in.
Yeah,
he's on another level.
Cucho and Diego. That's pretty much the entire offense for Columbus. Get those to the ball and just let them do their job.
Now, at what point does this get out of hand where Union fans start to go, "Wow, okay, well, all that momentum we had coming into this match, it just completely got smashed because now you got to go back home and play this team Wednesday now." Do you even who are you playing Sunday now in the third place game? Is that a Cavan 90-minute show, 60-minute show sort of deal in a third place game?
No, not with a
at home.
On the line.
I think they're going to give their full effort this weekend. I think you don't want to basically go out of Leagues Cup with 2 straight losses. Go out.
But then
especially when a top 3 finish means you get Champions Cup.
Also true.
That's what I'm saying.
You
have a 75 chance.
But then based off their standings in MLS, knowing you got to go right back and play this team Wednesday, and then come back and go away to New York to the Red Bulls on the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you going to play this depth? I mean, you're going to have Baribo back, but you're not going to have Martinez back. So
I think you play to win now, and you figure out the next game when you get there.
Yeah.
I think in this case, like I said, you don't want to go out of League Cup, having lost 2 in a row. You got to go out on some kind of a high, and third place would be its own high, especially given the fact that nobody gave Philadelphia much of a chance in the first place.
Fourth place means that they just played, had great momentum for a month and got absolutely nothing out of it except for fatigue the rest of the season.
You played for
pride. Didn't have them getting out of group stage.
Mm-hmm. But this is exactly what
both Kai and Jack standing over the free kick here to try, and Quinn right there to try and run some sort of diversion here. Then we have Jack runs past it, and then Kai
Here's your diversion.
booms it wide left.
Good shot, but a tough angle.
Took too long to develop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the first run in, actually, you had to kick right after that. Because then at that point, Columbus had the opportunity to readjust. By the way, did you notice the speed on that header by Cucho? Boy, that was fast.
Mm-hmm. And there was about 5 Union defenders that were standing there, didn't have time to react, there was nobody that, there should not have been that much space for Cucho to even be able to create a chance like that.
Now they're on the attack again. 50. By the way, we're 57 minutes in at this point. Columbus up 3-1.
Oh, that stat they're putting on the screen.
Yeah, that record.
Columbus under Wilfred Nancy in all comps, 27-2-12 at home.
I think it said 95 goals for, 36 against.
Jeez.
Like, that's just unreal.
Yeah.
Plus 59 goal differential.
Yeah. Wilfred Nancy's turned this team into a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Well,
you remember a team that looked like that at one point at home?
Ironically enough, yeah.
I mean, how much longer is Wilfred Nancy going to be here, though?
Yeah, that's
really
good question.
Next year.
Oh, possible chance
next year.
Oh, with a chance coming down the right way. That's what is he doing?
So sick of it.
Honestly, he got boxed out of the corner, to the corner there. There wasn't much he could have made happen. That probably would have just ended up a goal kick.
Luckily, it wasn't a turnover. Then we're back into the corner. Kai trying to make something happen. And cleared back out. And, as Jack is trying to lollygag back to it, Rossi comes in.
So casual. I'd like to see Gazdag do something here.
I'm sorry. I don't agree with the decision to start Quinn.
Well, who's you started instead, though?
Nope.
Quinn has been playing better is better as a super sub off the bench than in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
I think once clubs realized that a lot of his talent comes from just his athleticism, and he's able to make up for some of his lack of IQ plays, just holding on to the ball too much. Once they figured that out, it's, he's perfect as a super sub to come off as the bench, use that athleticism to shake things up. They need to do that he needs to get Adeniran in this game.
Yeah. Well, the other problem with Quinn is that there's really no position for him in the diamond.
Mm-hmm. He might get more playing time now, obviously, with Martinez out, you're seeing tonight. But they're going to figure out a way to get Quinn in there, especially with Cavan in the lineup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Quinn is going to be playing either way. Just I personally think he's better calling off the bench. Also, they keep playing him out of position. He's a winger. Why do they keep putting him in? Jim has tried to force him up top at striker a few times this year, and it's just not
you see that sometimes with natural wingers. You try to get that offensive throw out of them, and that can damage the psyche of a young kid. If you put him into something that's not natural.
Not everyone's a Swiss Army knife like Ariel.
Yeah,
where you can get lucky and plug them into certain areas and
that's out of bounds.
Succeed.
He's also failed at playing out of position, where they put him at center back and it went horribly. I forget which game that was where he was caught ball watching on several goals, because that's what a right back is supposed to do. Not center back, but he was playing center back, which is the problem.
By the way, they're putting half the camera regularly on Wilfred Nancy. They seem to be really just in love with him. I mean, listen, I like the guy too, but you know what? Show a little curtain love.
I mean, Nancy's team is winning, so
yeah, I know, but it's like, hey, we have a throw in. Let's see what Wilfred Nancy's doing right now, and he's smiling. Yeah. It's like Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl.
They're winning, and Columbus is just owning them on every one of these advanced stats.
Yes,
right now
they're playing
across the board.
Yeah, they're playing the stranglehold style, which is just burning clock and burning Philadelphia energy. Yeah.
Playing with more confidence too. You can see it.
Yeah.
You know, even when it was 1-1, they were playing with more confidence. They weren't afraid of this is 1-1 now. And even when it was 0-0, how much they were attacking, they came out of the gates attacking and pressure.
Well, going into this in the knockout stage, they outscored their opponents 8-3 going into this match. So, you know, if you factor out the 1-1 match against the one they won against New York, you know, I mean, that's 7-2. That's a big. I mean, that's an offensive threat right there. So 3 doesn't surprise me here. So they probably knew that, okay, well, you gave up the goal to Gazdag. You know what? We'll get it back.
Yeah.
You know, in Cucho we trust.
Guy sitting up for a corner in the 63rd.
And
nope,
never mind.
Oh,
Schulte thought he had a
camera
shot.
angle messed me up.
But now
There was a moment of hope there, and then Farsi just went and blew down the other end.
Farsi is so quick. Holy jeez.
That's what, the 6th or 7th corner for Philadelphia today?
Something like that.
Yeah. Because they had 4 in the first
You
half.
got the one Gazdag goal from it and not much else.
Ooh, I looked like he had a chance on that first or second corner earlier on in the first half.
He did, and then he hit the post.
Yeah.
Or well, it was kind of a bad angle, but
Stadium looks pretty full for a Wednesday. Not too bad of a turnout.
When they panned out, the upper deck is completely empty.
They probably
is it? Dang it.
Yeah.
They got me.
It's a maybe half full.
The team averaged just over 20,000 a game during the regular season. I think they're 18th in the league. So they're probably, I don't know, they could have like 18, 19 tonight.
Yeah. I don't think it's that much.
Leagues Cup, though, you might get some more because, again, it's Eastern
capacity. There's what, 25?
I think it's 25, yes.
Yeah.
You know, but I think knowing that you're two wins away from another trophy. Like I said, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do here.
Yeah. If they whine
this
about
score stands and Colorado makes a upset against LAFC, and then you have LAFC and Union in a third place showdown Sunday in an awkward little revenge game in a third place for a third place trophy. Not even a trophy. Just
either way,
I don't want to see LAFC. I just don't.
Either way, LAFC is going to be playing.
I don't see the Union winning. The LAFC's in their heads. I don't see the Union beating under any circumstances.
Well, I don't see LAFC losing to Colorado tonight.
Same.
And I think the league would love to see a rematch between these two teams for a Leagues Cup final.
Yeah. All right, and here we go. 65. Finally, we have Sam Adeniran about to come on for UWA. So
get the front. Yeah. This is about the
we also have Bueno coming on for Flock. Thank God.
Is that Marcus Anderson?
Columbus will probably put
down. And we have Danley coming in.
Danley.
Yeah, Danley from McGlynn.
Yeah. Danley Jean-Jacques, the Haitian national, recently from Nantes? Was it Nantes? Reims? I forget. A league on team that was just relegated to Ligue 2, I guess that would be.
Sorry about that. So, yeah, with every single second, this is diminishing the chances for Philly.
I don't have the notes in front of me. Probably a little too hard. I can't imagine it's happened recently that Columbus has given up a 2-goal lead at home.
Yeah, right.
Actually, you know what? Let me look at the
Leagues Cup miracle.
Columbus, by the way, has lost one home game this year. So they're 6 wins, 1 loss, and 4 draws. Their only loss this season came to FC Cincinnati 2-1. They have never at home given up 3 goals in a season. Actually, they've never given up 3 goals at all this season.
And if I remember, that loss to Cincinnati, that second goal came at like the death.
I think it did. I think it did. It was a
Charlie
it was a
Brown
highlight reel
jerseys.
goal.
Yeah, look at that one. Kelsey and Lewis.
You're commenting on the Charlie Brown jerseys too.
Oh my God!
I said it's the Charlie Brown jerseys.
Dude,
Incredible.
honestly, there are some jerseys that are cool looking. I mean, here's the thing, I'm not really big on the Philadelphia Union road tire one, but the Simpsons jersey I've always been a fan of. The Charlie Brown jersey, not really.
I don't like the Simpsons jersey. And whoa, almost a fourth.
Oh,
I don't know.
Keeps
I like
it
the Simpsons
3-1.
Yeah. Oy. That would have just ended this right here.
Oh, yeah.
Off the top of your guys' head, how many other examples in sports can you think of where one individual comes back from an injury or a signing and makes this sort of change and impact record mentality for a team, regardless if it's soccer, football, basketball? It's incredible what Blake has done and been able to do.
Oh, yeah.
Blake, in this case, not just the physical talent, but the psychological part. The team feels safer with, people don't realize, my nephew was talking about this shot and nope, just what? He's like, well, I don't want to be goalkeeper because it's boring back there. And, you don't get to score. It's like, no, the goalkeeper is the guy who runs the entire team. He is the guy who sees everything, and Blake has a knack to be able to see everything that's going on. So whenever backup is there, you don't have that same passion. Part of the reason why Matt Freese is so good with New York is because he watched Andre Blake. He learned from him.
Yeah.
And that's why he's as good as he is. And boy, is that a trade that I think the Union would want.
It would be nice if the Union would stop giving away backup goalkeepers for nothing.
Dude, I was shocked when that trade happened last year. And so was Matt, because he grew up in Wayne, Pennsylvania. Half an hour from the stadium. He played in the developmental league and then gets traded for to the team that beat him in 2021. Good guy.
Then you go on to see them succeed and do well. Is the other is like the cherry on top of like
the Columbus crew had the highest save percentage in goal this season. NYCFC is second. So, Schulte and then Freeze.
Hybaribo is able to play this match. Is he a 2-goal difference? Is in this? Do you see it making really that much of a change in the way that Columbus is playing?
He might get one. This might be a 3-2 game.
He might get one
3-2 game instead of 3-1.
Does he have the experience to be able to take on a Columbus crew like this?
Not to our knowledge. So
so you have to wonder if that's going to offset that a little bit. People like Gazdag or Blake, they've been down this road before. They're familiar with it. But then you have the newer people. It feels it's a playoff game. Every single one of these matches is a playoff game. And that's what's going to be great for October for these guys too. Go ahead.
I was going to say, with that being said, for these clubs that are 7, 8, 9 in the standings right now, even the clubs that are, deadlocked in that cluster of 3, 4, 5 teams, what does this do with these sort of tournaments? What does that do for their mentality, especially clubs like the Union, where coming into this, the fans base, the media, no one really gave them a chance at all. And for them to put on a show like this, it's pretty impressive.
You walk away proud.
Yeah.
And
I understand, and a lot's been said about like the attendance at Leagues Cup or whatever, but like I understand that they opted out when the team was terrible, and for the season ticket holders, they get the 17. Also, the big drop off from the Charlotte game to Cruz Azul and beyond was that there are 3 additional games included in the season ticket package. 2 CONCACAF Champions Cup games, the first Leagues Cup game, and you have to buy in for anything else. So they have the handout for Leagues Cup, and everybody's saying, F no, I'm opting out, and I'm not going to opt out of my season tickets for next year, please.
By the way, did you guys happen to see what the package is for the end of NFL Sunday ticket that they're charging like $750 for the year?
Isn't that double what it was last year?
Yeah, and that's, by the way, that's a cheap price. If you don't go through Apple, it's like $850. That's brutal.
And I think that's why they allowed that new. You can choose your quad box now on it.
God,
so instead of it being whatever they create, you can create your own quad box, which is a $400 increase.
Yeah, that's a $400.
You get to choose your.
I don't think it's a $400 feature.
But you know what's funny? What a lot of people are doing is they're VPNing into Canada. We're $70 a month.
Oh, Glesnes took a shot, and he's
wow,
it open, yeah.
Paul Rushing trying to patch up his forehead there.
72 minutes in, too. Time's running out.
Imagine a concussion check.
Yeah, he might have to come out of his concussion protocol. Hey, there's Jimmy Curtin.
Yeah. So things are going just great in Columbus for the Union.
And ever do you see Jim putting the suit back on at all for the rest of the season?
God, I hope not.
In the summer.
Leave it off.
No, maybe come October.
I mean, part of it I thought was he had a sponsorship deal. That was why he had to wear the suit. Because whatever clothing brand it was, like that bird pin that he always had, that's the logo for whatever clothing company that sponsors him. That's why Jim had the suit on, was he was getting paid for the suit. I don't know if that only applies in the winter, or if he told him, shove it, I'm taking the suit off, because he'd been terrible.
Like I said, I
was
like
hot
Jim
seat
Curtin.
got too much to him.
Yeah.
Could be.
Mabizo is coming in. He was still limping at practice yesterday.
Weather right now is a balmy 66 degrees over in Columbus. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Just shows with these subs, though, the lack of offensive power strikers and forwards, where you're bringing in another defensive player, where it's you're just hoping at this point to either not give up another goal and hope that you can get something on the counter.
You get a turnover somewhere.
Who else are bringing in? Chris Donovan?
Yeah.
There isn't.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I mean. It just shows the lack of depth they have at that position, where this is your options for subs, and that's part of the frustration. Because again, I still rather would Mbizo come in than Donovan.
Apparently, Glesnes is still trying to stay in the game, and Harriel is coming out.
I can't blame him for wanting to stay.
Finally, talking him into coming out.
He's like, I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound.
It's hair dye.
All
it's
right,
hair dye.
So it's all right. Mabizo coming in for Harriel. Mabizo in for Harriel. Why? But Glesnes is coming out. It looks like
he might be concussion protocol.
Yeah. I don't like. What is the point of this? You're
Also,
down 2 goals. He just took a shot to the head. Like, why? Take him out.
Yeah, maybe they thought he was okay. But you also have to wonder how much time they're going to put back on the
clock
at the end of the match.
I don't get it.
4 minutes there, 3 minutes there.
At this stage of the game, down 2 goals.
I don't know.
This is part of the issue, and how the Union started running into trouble last year is that these guys are getting run into the ground.
Well, it's a long season, and that's been some of the complaint too. You got 34 games in the regular season. This is what, the 5th game, I think, for Philly, for Leagues Cup plus whatever playoffs
6.
are.
They'll have 7 Leagues Cup games total.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
this is 6. Yep,
6. Okay, so it's a long season. And of course, there's been the complaints about the fact that the games start like a Subaru Park in February, which is tough on the players. I was on a press conference with Don Garber, and they were looking at options. One of the options they had, which I don't think they're going to do, but they explored it, was the possibility that they were going to start games in January in neutral sites. Like
why?
the Union
There's
would
no
play a
off
home game
season.
in Texas or something, you know?
This is so dumb. Shorten the season.
But they were picking around like every idea possible to make
If
sure
you keep cramming in all these extra tournaments, maybe cut the regular season down to 30 games.
That might be Apple.
I would love if you do that and you just make Eastern Conference teams are playing Eastern Conference, Western play Western, and you have like 2 weeks where it's the West versus the East, and it's you're highlighted by NYCFC versus LA Galaxy and the Union versus LAF, but it's 2 weeks throughout the year where you have East versus West, but then you're just going up against your teams in the East or West, your respective conference.
Cucho up the right side. Turnover. Okay.
Wow.
By the way, we're
Jean-Jacques closed fast.
Holy crap, he's fast. If you're the players, do you let this game frustrate you at all, other than just the natural frustration of losing, knowing that you got to bounce back Sunday for, like we were talking about before, you're still playing for something here.
Yeah. No, I think you play, to quote Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. You play for that third place, because again, what is more psychologically damaging? Playing your heart out and winning third place, or suddenly losing your last 2 games in Leagues Cup and then going back to the regular season. I think you got to play for that win. You might lose to Columbus right after that. Okay, fine. But you know what? You know that you got yourself a berth next season.
You're 1 win away from a CONCACAF berth. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. You play for all that's worth there, and then you figure out tomorrow when you get there. This league has 3 games in 8 days on a regular basis. It's tough, but sometimes you get breaks where you get, okay, Baribo is out. Fine. He'll be back the next game. And he will be rested for the next game. That is actually beneficial in some regard.
I'm glad it's an MLS team too. I'm glad it brings a different. It brings a more MLS crowd out, because I feel like they feel like it means more, because you're going to be going right back into the MLS schedule now, where
I disagree, because if they would be playing America in the third place game, it would be like Monterrey last year, where it wouldn't matter, because America already clinched a CONCACAF berth. That's where being 4 MLS teams actually is. That makes the third place game bigger. But either way, there's going to be nobody there Sunday.
Are the Eagles or the Phillies playing at home?
I think they're all Saturday.
Okay.
I think all NFL is preseason Saturday, so that everyone has the
by us is Jets Giants this weekend. Maybe I'll watch that.
See, we've reached the point of the season where, especially since the Phillies have been playing like shit lately, that everybody, it's like the Homer Simpson fading into the bush meme. It fades in with the Phillies jersey, comes back out with an Eagles jersey on.
Yeah, and the Phillies are in Kansas City this weekend to play the Royals.
Okay, those are all right.
Oh well. I think with it being Sunday night, with school starting back up too, you're going to see a lot of people staying away for all those sort of reasons too.
Well, since it's the third place game, it'll be earlier. It'll be like 5 or 6 o'clock.
But still, it's one of those things.
I wouldn't mind that.
But then when you factor in basically trying to get out of Subaru Park on a Sunday night, and the whoops. See, this is where they're burning that clock, and they're ready to take yellow cards if they have to.
Well, no, letting him know he's faking it, man.
Yeah. It's like the scene at the end of the Hangover when, Heather Graham fall. It's like, oh, it hurts. You're fine. I am. Oh, okay, fine.
The Cucho stop, flop, and roll last year. Nothing will top in the.
That was glorious. My God.
So how often do you guys do it for the like a live watch?
Not as much as we should.
This is
Not
our
again.
first time doing it this season. We tried to do. We were going to do a live react for the Copa final, but
Okay.
with all of the freaking chaos in Miami, and the game kept getting pushed back further and further. It was just like, well, we guess this is just going to be a live show talking about the about all of the crazy
Pre-game match,
Yeah.
pre-game show.
I had family drama on this side, so I wasn't able to do it. But yeah, I mean, in this case, especially because of the fact that, we cover different teams, the live stream react, I think, can work really, really well.
Yeah,
Because again,
we did it for
Yeah.
MLS Cup final last year.
Yeah, because also MLS Sportswriters adds a unique twist versus like some regular Joe. I mean, we've
Yeah,
been
absolutely.
in the locker room. We've mixed zone now, but
Yeah. And since
nice slide.
I was actually free during the day yesterday, I went over to Union practice yesterday for the first time.
Nice. Yeah, you got some good footage of that too. Wow, you guys are close, man. We're never that close in Orangeburg. I was jealous as heck, man. You guys were great.
I just stay outside the lines. I went and walked over to where the where the team videographer was and sat next to him, and nobody told me to go away. So,
Nah, Nico and Eric
These are the lines.
yeah,
Yep. Now they know what they can do.
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, they let you guys so much closer to the team than I get.
And several players came over and said hi to me too. Like I was just hanging out there.
That's always fun, man. It's empower, dude. Let me ask you this: when you left the facility, yesterday, did you have this weird feeling of empowerment when you left?
A little bit, like it felt really nice. Like
Yeah,
just
it's like I'm accepted. I'm part of the group.
yeah. Also, Tyberivo is super nice.
Oh
like,
yeah, I believe it.
Feel like a
So
real
genuine,
asshole
too.
for all the shit that we
It's
talked
not
about
fake
him
at
for so
all.
long.
He is. It's and for him to go through what he went through, for him to
Yeah.
still be that
Mhm.
nice, it's like wow.
Yeah.
How could Kurt not start him just for how nice he is? Like, geez.
Every team kind of has that one guy. You're just like you can't. You root for them every way, and then if the kid gets injured, you kind of like cry for them.
What is this dog going crazy about? I will be right back. I'm going to go see what my dog's yelling at.
Do what you need. I'll pull you off.
Okay.
There we
We're 84th minute here.
Yeah.
And another chance, but
Nope.
broken
Oh
up.
no. Oh,
Not much to do, but nothing.
was that Elliot? Good breakup by Elliot. Oh,
Yeah, Elliot broke that up.
bad touch.
But yeah, 84 minutes in. You're gonna assume.
And there was a
I was
good counterattack until it just hit the back of Sam's leg and he didn't even realize the ball was there.
What do you think?
It was
5
good
minutes
until
in?
it wasn't. Yeah, I was gonna say about 4 of them from when Glesnes was down, and then
Mhm. This could be
a
something.
minute or so from the goals. But
Nope.
Ooh, this Danley broke that.
That was a nice stop.
that was good by Danley.
And then not so much for that.
Yeah. Gazdag took several tumbles and then he went and breathed on the guy and he got called for the foul. Okay.
Danley had some zip on that pass.
Yeah.
Those are the things they're gonna have to get used to with each other, but it's good that
Sorry,
Danley
my
is
bad.
getting these minutes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him start Sunday.
I think that once Danley gets more acclimated, I think he is Jose's replacement, although I've heard some back and forth over like they don't play exactly the same position, so that's why you kind of have Leon Flock stuck back there, which after tonight, yes, it's Columbus, but yeah, that was kind of ugly tonight.
Mm-hmm. Philly with a possible chance here. Nope.
Bueno sent it in. Danley, nothing.
You got to figure about 10 minutes of game time left overall.
Yeah,
I would say about that.
We're probably about 6 minutes to stop, 5 or 6 minutes of stoppage.
Yeah. but Philly has not had a shot on goal this half.
Columbus is just.
I mean, that's what. Yeah, that's what they're.
Yep. The stranglehold.
What is? Does anyone know like the injury update of Messi and what he's going to be doing coming back for MLS play with Miami?
There was a shot on target. I haven't heard a single thing about Messi. It's been complete radio silence.
No,
since Copa.
Messi, they've been quiet with the whole thing on this, believing it was probably like an ACL tear or something. If it was ACL, he's done. He's done until next year.
It wasn't an ACL, but I saw the way his ankle looked. It looked like his ankle was it looked like something was broken in his ankle.
You know,
it looked bad.
It looked bad, like something. It was either.
If Messi was coming back, we probably would have heard something.
Yeah, I don't think we see him again this year.
Yeah, no, but the problem, what makes it look bad is that they spent so much money on Lionel Messi, to get them. They got the title at League Cup last year, but they brought him in to get him an MLS title here, and he has not done that. He has missed.
Damn, with that strike that almost went right through that had some zip on it, and a little more would have gone through Schulte.
Blow the hand right off.
Sam's gotten close a lot this tournament.
Is Rossi coming out?
He's been right there multiple times.
Rossi coming out for Malta? Is that what's happening?
Yep.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
Like I said, I like Malta. Always have. Oh, yeah, they're bringing everybody in at this point. May as well.
Yeah, Matan and Shambos coming in.
Do it.
And Amundsen.
Yeah, I guess.
As of now, the MLS Cup goes through them, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
reigning champs.
For sure.
The way they're playing, it's
going to be a hell is real final again, especially with Messi gone from Miami.
Yeah. Miami's extremely beatable. He's on that lineup.
Yeah.
FC Cincinnati still has a lot of fight.
Right now,
I was going to say the Union showed that Cincinnati's beatable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Cincinnati's beatable. I also don't. Also, after this, I don't know if this is the Union coming back to earth or just Columbus is that good.
Columbus is that good.
And Rafa coming in, good for him.
I like this. I like
Jeremy
this a lot.
Raffanello coming in for Bedoya. I asked Jim about this. I said, Rafa held Busquets in check. Held Sergio Busquets, one of the best players in the world, even at the end of his career. Held him in check. Despite as much of a disaster as that Miami game was, Busquets did nothing because Rafa was all over him. And then, he wasn't seen again for weeks after that. So it's good to see Rafa now this is his second or third appearance in Leagues Cup, I think. So go for him.
So how much added time?
4. Wow. I thought we were getting at least 5 or 6.
I was thought that, yeah.
Here we go.
Like I said, you take the yellow card.
Did pull him down.
You take the yellow cards. You burn. You just burn the clock out. Especially now that you know how much time is left.
Bueno did give him a good yank down, so that was worthy of it. The thing I was laughing at was that right after that happened. Yeah. Oh, he didn't even really. Okay, on that was bullshit. Yeah. But I also saw Bueno spit on the ground in the guy's general area, not at him, but close to him.
Body armor, flash IV.
All right, +4. Got about 3 minutes left here.
Nope.
And Columbus threatened save by Blake again.
Whoa. Another
Oh,
save.
what is? Was that
Wow.
Kai?
Yeah, that could have been 4-1. That should have been 4-1.
I think Kai got the second one.
Kai got the second stop there. Wow. This game could have easily been 5-1.
But you know what? Philly did tie it.
Oh, here goes Bueno.
Credit the Gazdag goal, but
that was a nice cross by Sam.
Nice header. Oh, bad shot out, but throw in for Philly.
And for on that goal, other than that opportunity, I can't really think of another opportunity that the Union really had on goal, and that was off of a Columbus, screw up, just them being sloppy with what they've done.
What about that Aura header off that other corner? Was that Aura?
That one?
Yeah,
that was close. That was close early, but he he was at a bad angle, like JD said earlier. But that was, other than that, I can't really, nothing standing out. This has been a Columbus.
Sam had a good look at Schulte a few minutes ago, but
okay, yeah, there you go.
That's about it. I mean, yeah, aside from those few chances, that's pretty much been about it for the Union the whole night.
Yeah.
Is the emotion of Jose leaving, Martinez leaving, does that play into a factor at all?
Could be. I mean, listen, they'll say it doesn't, but I think it does.
Right, the human emotion, the human factor has to kick in, right?
Yeah. Trainings are different.
I'll put it this way. Jim gave the team the day off after the game because they were all going to be out partying with Jose. And knowing Jose, that it may have been a literal 2-day hangover, knowing how Jose parties.
Isn't his rule if they win, he gives the day off the next day? Is that what it was?
A lot of coaches usually have a rule like that. Yeah.
I think when they won 3 in a row, he got them pizza too. I remember earlier in the season.
Can I point this out with New York City? I mean, New York City and New Jersey have arguably, and Philly and Eric to his credit, have some of the best pizzas in the country. They get the shittiest pizza from like Papa John's, and it's like, really?
Ooh, that was a nice chance there.
Yeah. Now we're at 94.
They're gonna come up short, but to see the continued fight, they're meshing more. The ball movement is better.
Like they're at the deaf here. They're still playing to the last corner. And that does it.
There it is.
It's a 3-1 final. Columbus over Philly, but they had no answer for Cucho tonight. And the Cucho and Rossi show strikes again.
Rossi show.
So they will be playing at home against the winner of Colorado and LAFC.
Yeah, against the loser of Colorado. Well, Columbus will be playing the championship at home against the winner of Colorado and LAFC, and Philly will be playing the loser of that game at home on Sunday in the third place match.
But you know what? Again, credit to Philly because a lot of people didn't expect. A lot of fans did not expect them to get as far as they did. You can hold your head high.
I didn't think they get out of group.
You got beaten by a better team, but you got to this point to get beaten by the better team.
They do, and to play through the teams that they played through to be able to get to even face Columbus, like they showed a lot of fight throughout this entire tournament. And you look at where they were earlier on in the year. This team looked like they were flailing. Like, God, cut your arm off to be able to even say that they were flailing because, good God, it was bad for a while for Philadelphia Union, and to see them make the turnaround that they have just in the last 7 games alone, and then be able to get to this point in Leagues Cup and play against the last year's MLS Cup champion in Columbus and, hold them close for at least the first 45, and then they just escaped. And and like you guys were saying, the fight that they had throughout the entire tail end of this match, Philadelphia definitely played their way through that full match, and they have nothing to be ashamed of for even though they lost. Like Columbus is clearly going to be the better team just with how the forms have looked throughout the season, and Philadelphia can still hold their heads high because, like you said, they're going to host the third place match. Very, very strong implication for being able to get into Champions Cup on the line on Sunday. So you really have to, especially with, how Columbus did you in last year in the playoffs as well, to be able to walk into Sunday and have the confidence. I feel like Philadelphia is definitely going to have that for sure.
I think
absolutely. So. And for everything that this team has been through over the last few months and just playing like absolute crap with Blake out, for them to come back and now be one win away from getting their third CONCACAF Champions Cup berth in the past 4 years, to be playing in that continental soccer. I mean, all ownership cares about is money, right? Making those tournaments keeps bringing the money in. They may have blown $50 million on Club World Cup by not taking CONCACAF seriously this year, but that's a whole other matter.
And then going back in now to MLS play, use this, whatever you have to do, call it a rivalry game or a revenge game, on a Wednesday, because, after Leagues Cup, almost every single game going into the end of the season and hopefully into the playoffs is going to feel like a playoff game again. You host Columbus, and then you're on a 3-game home, or a road trip. So you got to be able to hold your head high, like Austin was saying, and go into this third place game, and don't let this loss to a juggernaut of a club right now, that anybody who, this was going to happen. So you got to be able to continue this momentum now into Sunday, and then MLS play. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games left, and they're all those points are going to matter.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Anything else you think?
Yeah.
No, thank you for inviting me. This was awesome.
Absolutely.
Dude, anytime, legit. Seriously, I don't care. You guys are awesome.
And go ahead and plug your guys. Go ahead and plug your stuff.
You can go first, man.
Soldier Steve at Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days. And then with EOP, the articles, they'll be there. Thursday, I'm hopping on with Mitch Kofsky doing a Eagles show. And then Sunday morning, Attacking Third.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's Edge of Philly Sports on YouTube, by the way, correct? Or EOT?
Correct, yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Austin? Plug yourself.
Mainly it's just twitch.tv/Hambo26. I've been just doing a lot of video game content. I reached affiliate back in February, so I've sort of just been sort of pushing on that. And for all of you super nerds out there like me, I'm making a push to get to 100 total followers. When I do, I'm going to crack open a Magic the Gathering collector's booster box. There are a couple pulls in there that are about $200, so I'm trying to, fingers crossed we hit the lottery, boys.
Listen, you'll get there.
Yeah, aside from that's pretty much it, honestly. On X, I'm at Hambo_26. I post some funny stuff there sometimes.
Nice. So seriously, legit, open invite anytime you guys want to do this. I think we are going to do this in some facet or form, and may not just necessarily even limited to just soccer. I mean, I think sports in general, football season, we may have to talk about that on one of the other channels that we've got. There's a few things in the pipeline that we can work with. Lacrosse is coming up. Gary Groob, obviously, I think, Steve, Gary, Gary works with us, on some stuff when it comes to lacrosse and everything, because we have guys that cover that too. So we might do some stuff in that arena too. But live stream, if you guys want to do this again, dude, 1,000% down for it.
Absolutely.
Big road games.
Absolutely. Sports nerd. So. Yep.
There's a lot more coverage out there than just Apple. So that's what we're all here for in our own little way.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Rising tide lifts all boats. It's not.
I actually from here, I'm gonna go live on my Twitch channel. I've actually been playing through all of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Okay.
So I'm running through a bunch of that stuff. So I'm actually gonna probably put like another 2 hours into that before I knock off for the night. 'Cause I'm off tomorrow.
The things you do for work, right?
Yeah. But I mean, before I was working, because my wife and I just moved up to this place about a month ago, a little bit over a month and a half ago now. When I wasn't working, I was every day I was doing like 2-3 hours of just playing through. I did Super Mario RPG. Now I'm doing Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do next because Oblivion's a big time dump. I'm at the point now where I'm like, God, I'm going to be spending so much time playing this. When I finally beat it, what the hell am I going to do next? So I think the only way to go from here is just to Skyrim and just dump another 200 hours.
Or you know what? You go backwards and you do something like Battle Kid or something so insanely difficult and brutal that you I know what you do. Every time you die in Battle Kid, you take a shot.
Dead.
I will not be alive by the end of the first stream.
Just dead in an hour.
It won't be 200 hours.
I just started playing Elden Ring on my own time, and in the 6 hours that I've put in, I've died like 35 times. So I'm like, oh, what's this? And I get hit with one attack, and I'm down like 2/3 of my health. I'm like, not somewhere I should be. I gotta go. Just start running away.
Nice, but yeah, I'll let you go. It's borderline bedtime for all of us too, you know.
Yeah.
So, but gentlemen, thank you again. I'm greatly appreciative. So thank you.
Yeah. Good time despite the loss. Thank you all for coming on.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Take care. Stay awesome.
Cheers.
Have a good night.